Well, all right!
Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world famous As It Should Be studios.
Yes.
Crystal Durant over here in the world famous As It Should Be studios.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Von Boyd over here in the world famous As It Should Be studios.
Tommy.
All right. Yes. Okay. Well, we have a whole parade of albums to
walk in front of you.
To parade under the cherry moon. Whatever. I'm not going to try to do this bullshit.
To parade under the cherry moon.
You are subtle AF.
So good.
In case you don't get it, look it up.
Yeah.
All right, but we are here to discuss our favorite albums of 1986.
Yes.
And and what makes this episode so special, see?
What is it?
Is that Crystal gets to start?
Yes, 1986. Woo!
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to first start off by saying that I was living in Los Angeles at the time, and this is my official Tower Records shirt that I bought when I started working there.
I love that you still have that.
I still have it. It still works.
It still fits.
It still fits. Yes. I was at Tower for 2 years, 3 years, something. It was one of the best jobs I ever had. And recently I was digging through a box of old crap and I found one of my pay stubs. I was living like a queen. $3.50 an hour.
Ooh.
Yep.
That was 1986.
That puts a new coat of paint on things. doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I was working at record stores at that time, and that is pretty much what I was making.
Man, that was
$3.50.
like top tier. $3.50 an hour.
Yeah.
What? I was driving a Volkswagen Beetle. Gas to fill up my tank cost me like $2. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, the good old days.
The
Anyway.
80s were even better than you thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So, yes, I was living in a whole new world of LA, and things were bright and shiny and new, and beaches, and wow, I got stories. But anyhow, this is my runners-up list for 1986. And those songs are, it's not a long list. Not long. What?
How about give us your albums list?
Yeah. Oh, did I say singles again?
No,
God
you said
damn
songs.
it. Oh, I said songs? Where's my sign? I gotta hang it back up.
It's back there.
It's back there. All right. So here are the albums, my favorite albums from 1986. Starting with the runners-up, and that is Album by P.I.L., Emerald City by Tina Marie, Frantic Romantic by Jermaine Stewart, Word Up by Cameo, Dancing on the Ceiling by Lionel Richie, True Colors by Cyndi Lauper, Give Me the Reason by Luther Vandross, Filigree and Shadow by This Mortal Coil, and Get Close by The Pretenders.
See, now this is where we're headed. Mm-hmm. This is where we're going.
Where are we going?
Crystal's runners-up list was like 8 albums.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're saying, Bertolino.
It's getting bad.
Well,
it's getting bad.
it doesn't matter.
I don't know where you're going with this shit, Bertolino.
Doesn't matter. You don't have to know. It's been said. You guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So now here's my list for 1986. Coming in at number 10, something that I think both of you will enjoy, and that is True Blue by Madonna.
That's
Yes.
I know you like that record.
God, I love that
I
record.
know he loves that record.
Love it.
I like that record. It was good. I was sick of that fucking song, but I like the record.
Yeah. Not one of the better songs in that record.
Great song.
Coming in at number 9, Master of Puppets by Metallica. Yeah. I wasn't super into heavy metal during this time period. Even though, like, Motley Crue lived up the street from where I worked. They were around all the time and, you know, on the strip and everything. And, yeah. But I really do... I went out and bought that album after I heard the first song. Which was not... kind of normal for me to do, but I love that record, which is a big popular record, right?
It was a big popular record. It was kind of the breakthrough record. It was their first major label album.
Right. Now, is this record costing $500 now these days?
Well, not 500,
A
but
good original copy?
it's
pretty
pricey.
pricey,
It's very expensive.
yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Injustice for All and like fucking Garage Days and
Garage Days?
Yeah.
Well, Garage Days didn't
Not as much,
sell
but-
well, though, so there might not be as many copies available on the market.
Right.
Justice sold like hotcakes, and that's a terrible album, but we'll get to that.
All right. Coming in at number 8 is Black Celebration by Depeche Mode.
Celebration.
Big fan, I see.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah. He's super into it.
It's great.
I'm Inuit.
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 Number 7, I have Tinderbox by Susie and the Banshees.
How do you feel about this?
Crickets.
Nah.
No dog in that race?
Yeah,
Not really.
not particularly.
Number 6, I have Sig Sig Sputnik with Flaunt It.
Oh, shit.
That's some weird shit.
Yeah, we're definitely traveling some different highways here, I have to say.
Yeah.
God. Somebody at work turned me on to it, and we listened to it all the time at work. I loved it.
Yeah. Hey, but if life is a highway, you're going to ride it all night long.
I sure did.
Yeah.
If you're going my way.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I wore sunglasses at night. How you like that? Coming in at number 5, I have one of my all-time favorite albums that I still listen to once a week, and that is Crowded House by Crowded House.
Yes, you have.
I've
You've
espoused
talked about
about
this one
that
before.
a million times. The singles, it's such a good record. Damn it. Please listen to that record. It's really, really great. At number 4, I have Raising Hell by Run DMC.
The Stay Hungry of Run DMC.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Let's be real
That's
here.
the perfect way to describe
Yeah.
it. It's still great, but yeah, it's the Stay Hungry.
It's kind of tricky.
Yeah, tricky. Tricky. It's tricky to rock a run, that's right on time, it's tricky. It's tricky. Okay, coming in at number 2, I have So by Peter Gabriel.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I love that record.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was going to make a statement, but I think I'll wait until... I'm going to wait until I talk about
You
it later.
talk
It's
about
Muppet
it.
Head Nod.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's something that I did not expect Peter Gabriel to do, because he'd been so weird for such a long time.
Right.
And then to come out with a rock solid pop record that, wow, I was pleasantly surprised.
They all succumb to that at some point. In that decade, you kidding me?
Oh yeah, well I mean it's not avoidable,
All
but
did.
I'm happy about this one.
Yeah.
It was a great tour too, so great. Coming in at number 2, I have Control by Janet Jackson. Control.
Now I'm all grown up.
Control. I don't get what I want.
Yes, that's a
Control.
great album.
So awesome. Oh man. You were sick of it, but it was fucking great. And my number 1 album of 1986 is Parade by Prince and Revolution. Of course.
There it is.
What else is it going to be?
There it is.
And that is another record that people hated because it wasn't Purple Rain Part 3.
They were wrong.
And they were wrong.
They were wrong.
It's a great movie soundtrack. The movie is ridiculous. Please drink while you're watching it.
I still have not watched it. I need to make a point to.
You need to make a point to watch it. I know you don't drink and you don't do drugs, but wow, it's so bad it's good.
You're not going to like it.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll hate it.
You might get something out of it, but you're not going to like it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's a hot, buttered mess.
Yeah. It's basically Prince has taken the reins and he's just going, okay, so everybody, so on this next shot, you get a close-up of me, really, really close-up of my face, and I'm going to be making sexy eyes, okay? Yeah, and we'll stay there, and then you'll cut to Jerome for a moment, but then come back to me. And I'll be making sexy eyes.
Yeah.
Really close up on me, you know.
And then we'll go to the girl, and then we'll do this, and
Yeah.
then come back to me, and then I'm going to do like crazy eyes.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do this and that, and then come back to me.
It's Prince
boy.
is in
It's a
control of
vanity project
his
of epic
self-shots,
proportions.
his shots of himself.
And
Yeah.
so maybe his genius doesn't cover all artistic mediums.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, no. But the soundtrack is
The record's great,
fantastic.
though.
It's got great
Yeah.
hits on it. It's really good. So that is my list. My lists. Runners
Those
up.
are all your lists.
And
all of them.
Every single one of them.
There's runners up and the list for 1986.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
me.
let's get ready because we have some commercials.
All right.
All right, I think so. I think we probably do. Let's find out. Here we go.
I love a commercial.
Starburst fruit juice.
Bite into a Starburst and hold on to your taste buds. It's the wildest orange. Strawberry. Lemon. And wildest cherry taste. Starburst. It's a burst of refreshing fruit flavor. Naturally and artificially flavored.
Wild.
right, we are back. We're back.
Yes.
And, well, I'm going to have to go into my list now. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to tell Tommy.
Oops.
I don't even know why. Nah, some stuff on here he's going to like. Some stuff he may not like, and some stuff he's just going to like, yeah, what? Who? What? Why?
Where?
No dog in the race stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But honorable mentions, I have 5. Van Halen 5150. I am not a Sammy Hagar era guy.
Ouch.
In that album, I don't like even a tenth as much as I did at the time. But honestly, the title track alone, I almost put it on the list almost for that song alone. I mean, you know, there's so much ridiculous shit on that, like Inside and...
Oh, I don't count Inside. That's a throwaway track. That's garbage.
But even the opening track, hello, babe, right out of the gate, it was like, oh, jeez, he's trying to do the Dave thing. Oh, come on.
Exactly. How
Yeah.
weird was that?
Yeah, I was
You're
like, oh,
supposed to
please.
be a different thing.
And then the
you're-
next song, which sounds like a Coke commercial, it's got what it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and but I really like Best of Both Worlds. Mm-hmm. I like Love Walks In, and I like 50, like basically all of side 2 except for Inside.
Okay.
I think it's pretty good.
What about Dreams?
That's on side 1. That's all I'm saying about that.
It's not the best of both worlds.
Okay, all right. Anyway, so my next 4 honorable mentions: The Kinks, Think Visual, Wait, Kinks album, a couple songs I like, but you know, I'm. It's 1986, people. All right, The Bolshoi with Friends.
Oh dear. Wow, the Bolshoi.
The Bolshoi.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, the Bolshoi.
Okay.
Which I whatever was it? It wasn't 120 minutes. There was some, you know,
Yeah.
weird new wave late night MTV show on at the time
Right.
that I discovered them on, and I liked the record. Velvet Underground, Another View, the follow up to the VU album, nowhere near as good, but you know, worthy of putting on this list. And Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time. An album that I completely missed at the time because the last Maiden album that I bought was Power Slave, and then I bought the live album, Live After Death, and that was it. Like
Really?
I have not bought a Maiden album
Tapped
since.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have kind of in the last couple of years gone and listened to Somewhere in Time. When okay, I never ever listened to this. I'm not a note of it. I guess there was a single out that I probably heard, but I went and I listened to it. And it's like, it's actually kind of good.
It's got Wasted Years.
Wasted Years.
It's a fabulous
But yeah,
song.
when I went back and listened to it, it was like, actually, this really is not a bad Maiden album.
Yeah, it's a solid record.
Yeah. But okay, all right. So on my actual list here, number 10, David Lee Roth, Eat 'Em and Smile. Yeah. Now I will tell you something.
Yup.
I was trying to decide whether I was like, should I put that on number 10 or the Kinks album? And I went and I listened. And I was like, oh come on, yeah. Sorry, Kinks. Yeah, I put David Lee Roth in there. But number 9, Orchestratron, Motorhead. Yeah. I mean, Motorhead, you kind of can't go wrong with Motorhead. They have some albums that aren't as good as others, some that are kind of like Motorhead by numbers, but
Motorhead by numbers. No, that's a good album.
but that's a good record.
It's like Kids Bop sings Motorhead.
There you go.
Okay, so my number 8. Okay, you guys. All right, I'm gonna probably have to expand on this. My number 8, Tatsuro Yamashita.
I knew this was.
Pocket Music. This is by the way, I will tell you right now, this is the last album from Tatsuro you're going to be hearing about because I get off the bus with him after this.
Oh, bummer.
Okay, now you got, for all you people who are going, what the fuck are you guys on about? Or what the fuck am I on
Not
about?
you guys.
Okay, yeah, you guys aren't on
What do you
about
mean,
this.
we, white man?
Hey, but, you know, Tatsuro Yamashita, that's some white shit right there.
Oh, so
This thing called City Pop. In the 70s and the 80s, there was this thing where Japanese, this music scene in Japan where they were basically kind of taking Western music and copying it, basically, and doing their own version of it.
Okay.
And, you know, there's a lot of R&B and dance kind of stuff, but there's also a lot of kind of yacht rock kind of shit. And I honestly think there's some stuff that you would really like. I mean, Yamashita is very Cynthia on this record.
Okay.
Good songs. Most of the stuff is sung in Japanese. Every once in a while, he'll throw you a song where he's singing in English, and it really makes a difference. Like, oh, I know what he's saying. Oh, it's better. But yeah, so city pop is this thing that was kind of a thing in Japan at the time, and the artists who are in on that, like Yamashita and Maria Taka, oh fuck, I don't remember her name, but that's Yamashita's wife. They're like basically the Prince Madonna of the genre, and they're married, and so it's like, and these are major artists. A lot of the people that are in the genre in Japan are like the fucking Elton Johns and the Paul McCartneys of Japan.
Ooh.
And only in the last few years have American audiences start to get on this because of YouTube. The record started popping up on YouTube, and people started really getting on it. And somebody sent me like a 1975 album by this group called Sugar Babe, and which was the band that Yamashita is from, and said, "Oh, you might like this." And I listened to it, and I went down the YouTube rabbit hole, and now here I am mentioning every fucking album on these videos. So anyway, that's all. That's what all this weird shit is. So number 7. Now, my number 7 is a compilation album. I am breaking my strictest rule.
This happens sometimes.
Gotta do what
Compilations, I mean, but like, not, and I'm not talking like the Velvet Underground album. This is a proper greatest hits compilation, and I will explain. This is Standing on the Beach by The Cure.
Oh, okay.
Now, with The Cure, I am purely singles with The Cure. I tried in the 80s. I tried going albums with them, and I could not make the transition. Singles, they are a singles band for me. This album, I fucking love it. I love all of it, from the early singles like Killing an Arab and 10:15 on a Saturday Night, all the way through to the later 80s stuff. I just can't go album tracks with them for some reason. It just doesn't work for me. And this is just such a strong compilation.
It's a really great greatest hits record.
It's a great greatest hits record that is really the only representation that I personally can have of this band. So that's how they have to be on the list.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Number 6. If I can get to it. Skylarking XTC. Oh yeah. Oh man, the one and only Todd Rundgren produced XTC album.
Yes.
That they had a lot of trouble making because you have Andy Partridge and Todd Rundgren in the studio at the same time.
Butting heads.
Loggerheads.
That's this right here.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, easily the best XTC album by far. Not as good as XTC in Disguise, Dukes of Stratosphere, but
yeah, for a regular straight XTC,
almost.
yeah, it's good.
All right. So number 5. Joe Jackson, Big World.
You're still on Joe Jackson at this point?
I am still on Joe Jackson.
He's always on Joe Jackson.
Well, at some point he gets off Joe Jackson.
I get off Joe Jackson I get off Joe Jackson temporarily.
Rarely, and then,
yeah,
he comes back around.
But Big World, it was a double album, 3-sided double album. So like side 4 was just smooth vinyl. Oh no shit. No grooves, and this is an album he did of all new material where he recorded it live. He did a bunch of shows, played entirely new material, telling everybody, you know what, let the music fade, hold your applause, because we don't want it to be like a live album. He just wanted to have live performances with an audience giving them that vibe.
Energy.
Huh.
And so, yeah, and it's kind of like a concept album. Everything is about travel and different places and times in places and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I really like the album a lot. Not one of his biggest hit albums, but it's right here for me, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. Number 4. Yeah, this is an album that should be higher, except for my top 3. Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
Metallica. Oh man, it's hard to decide which is the best album out of the first 3, because that is an absolutely amazing run. Those first 3 Metallica albums.
Yes.
And as much as I can't stand them generally, as people and just as most of their output, the first 3 albums are absolutely undeniable. Now, there's a special thing about this album. I did buy it right when it came out.
This copy specifically?
I don't think this is my original copy, but I bought the album when it came out. Now, these back photos, I was at this show.
Joe, that's
Were
right.
you
I
really?
am in that fucking audience right there.
No.
I was there. This is at the Day on the Green. Yeah, this is Day at the Green, 1985. This is the only shot that isn't from that show. But all of these, yeah. And I was pretty fucking close.
Get
I was
out.
close enough to be able to see their features. It's the light of day, so it isn't one of those things where it's like, you know... Well, see, the thing about that is that Metallica was still up and coming, and they were only on Ride the Lightning at the time. Like, this album wasn't
Right.
a thing, obviously, because it's on the back cover. They were on Ride the Lightning at the time, and this is the first show they'd ever played at this size. They were like a local band who, you know, you saw them in clubs.
Yeah.
So they were playing this. They were like the second band on that day.
Wow.
Some band called fucking like Victory was on first, and then Metallica.
But look at
So
the
that's
size
why I
of the
was able to
crowd
get.
for them.
That's why I was able to get really close, because there wasn't a lot of competition to get close during this. Because other bands were like Scorpions and
Yeah.
shit like that, and so.
But it looks
Metallica
like
w-
it looks like it's thick as hell. Like it must have started. People must have started approaching the stage once they started.
Well,
playing.
it was thick as hell, but it wasn't like one of those things where you had to really like.
Gotcha.
Way to the front.
Little ass me, I was 15.
Right.
I was able to get up pretty close, so I mean, it wasn't that tough.
Were they good? Is it this?
Oh fucking! It was
Yeah.
amazing. Are you
Oh,
kidding? There's
man.
footage of it. I mean, have you ever seen?
No, I've never seen the footage of that.
Yeah, there's footage of it, and yeah, so this album is kind of doubly special because it's easily one of their finest albums. It came at like this. It was like in this time and place for me when I was 15, and to have been to buy this record and be like, holy shit, this is the show I was just at. You know,
So you are in this.
I'm in there
photo.
somewhere. I mean, you know, probably not. You know,
Visibly, we'll never be able to figure out where.
yeah, because
but-
I'm the short one.
But that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
so cool, dude.
But so there you go.
Fantastic.
And all right, Metallica. Okay, so number 3. REM with Life's Rich Pageant. Now this is kind of the moment where I'm kind of transitioning out of metal and into other things. Like I'm really starting to get really heavy. I've gotten really heavily into REM. I've gotten really heavily into Prince, and yeah, I'm like that. Like a major change is happening. Like 86 was a year of change for me, and it was major. The thing is that once I started to kind of get off the metal thing, I really started getting off the metal thing. Because a big part of it is that a lot of the bands that were starting to come out were just like shit. Like Poison was starting to come out, and I really hated Rat, and I just hated there was just so much stuff that like I had loved it when it was like Maiden and Priest and AC/DC and
Old
stuff
school.
like yeah, kind of like it was just meteor stuff. And when it got to MTV, I was like,
Done.
so I started looking elsewhere, and that's when I really started getting heavily into REM, and it's just there you go. I mean, and that was my favorite REM album at the time for sure, and possibly my favorite still. I don't know.
It was a huge hit,
Yeah, it's the one with "Fall on Me,"
which I love that
great
song.
song.
which is a great. That's what
Hooked you.
that's what hooked me,
That
man.
is a fantastic song.
Okay, my number 2. Parade.
Your doppelganger.
But here, let me hold it for you.
Tilt it down a little
There
bit,
we go.
Tommy. It's a lot of glare. There you go.
There we go. Yeah, there it is.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, Parade. Now this album, ooh man, it really, honestly, it's difficult to say which album was bigger for me in 1986, this one or the REM. Both of those albums were. It cannot be overstated how huge those fucking albums were for me at the time. And I still love them. And yeah, you were talking about the movie for Under the Cherry Moon, and you go in and it's like it's this terrible movie, and people were expecting
bad.
Purple Rain 2 and all that kind of shit. I went with my friend Brent, my best friend Brent. We went to go see Under the Cherry Moon. I think we were the only people there.
Oh wow.
I mean, there may have been like 5 other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the opening weekend, word was out. It was a dog.
Yeah.
And no one knew what it
Yeah, because I
meant.
didn't go see it on the opening weekend. I went to see it like the following weekend. Boom. Crickets.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then the
Yeah.
next week, it was pulled out of theaters.
Oh.
Yeah, it was awful.
But, all right, so, my number one, all right, my number 1 I have the debut album by the Smithereens, Especially for You. Yes.
Oh, look at this. Look at these signatures.
Signed by everybody except Mike.
Oh. Look at that, though. I like it too, Paul, especially for you. That's great.
That's Pat Denizio. That guy, he's a clever one. And Jim Babjack, who always signs with the little cheers and the...
That's terrific.
Well, because I went and I met them after a show in the 80s, and they signed a t-shirt for me, and this is how he signed it. This album I got signed at Kenny's Castaways like 10 years ago.
Yeah, when we
and he
went.
fucking did the same. It was
Same
exactly the same.
Yeah.
And yeah,
R.I.P.
this album,
Castaways.
basically these top three albums, Life Pageant, Parade, and this, that is my fucking 1986 right there. I mean, that's just like my DNA in 1986, those three albums. And they stand the test of time for me. I mean, I still love them. They're still tops.
Well, all right.
Well,
right.
all right.
Very nice.
All right, everybody, get ready because we have some messages for you.
Hot eyes, rad hair, hit boots, splits there.
Barbie and the rockers, dressed so cool she always makes me sing. A rock star of your wildest dreams.
She's it!
Barbie and the rockers, solid gold and zooming up the charts. Rocking out with music in her heart.
Barbie comes with free Rockers cassette. Dolls each sold separately.
Barbie and the rockers.
This world takes a little growing into, and 10 million kids are growing up strong and feeling their best with Flintstones vitamins.
We are Flintstones kids. 10 million strong and growing. We are Flintstones kids. 10 million strong and growing. We are Flintstones kids. 10 million strong.
Flintstones, America's favorite.
And growing.
Okay, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, and now we got we got Tommy's list.
Tommy.
It's my list.
Yeah, Tommy's. I almost gave you a second
I
list
know,
there.
yeah.
Okay, well, I've got honorable mentions.
No. Really?
You don't.
I do. I do.
You know,
I do.
you would.
I know.
You do, you do, you do.
All right. Planet Rock, the album, Africa Bambaataa and Soul Sonic Force, Solitude Solitaire by Peter Cetera, Third Stage Boston, Little Shop of Horrors soundtrack, So, Peter Gabriel, Raising Hell, Run DMC, Invisible Touch, Genesis, Night Song, Cinderella, The Final Countdown, Europe, No Easy Way Out, Robert Tepper, Turbo, Judas Priest, Not Just a Girl Next Door by Nancy Martinez, Curiosity by Regina, Dancing on the Ceiling, Lionel Richie, Somewhere in Time, Iron Maiden, Chicago 18 by Chicago. Eat 'em and Smile, David Lee Roth, Master of Puppets, Metallica, Peace Sells But Who's Buying, Megadeth, Graceland, Paul Simon, Different Light, The Bengals, and True Colors, Cyndi Lauper. And that is my list of honorable mentions for 1986. Oh my god, I'm getting all choked up.
I'm definitely
Take your
choking.
time, take your time.
It's just so emotional. Okay.
Baby. Every time I think of you.
All right, my number 10 for 1986. Van Hagar with 5150.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait. What number did you say?
Number 10.
Oh, it sounded like you said 6. I was like, wait, you can't possibly only have a 6-song
I said
album
number
list.
10 for
Well, you know.
1986.
Oh, so there
Not
you go.
number 6 for 1980-10. Silly
You are
Paul.
dealing with a deaf man over here.
That's true.
1980.
All right, my number 9. License to Ill, Beastie Boys.
How did I forget about that?
I truly don't know how anyone forgot about
How
that.
did I miss that?
That is a monstrous record from
It is.
1986.
It's great. Changing, genre bending.
My number 8, AC/DC with Who Made Who, which is partially a compilation for a film soundtrack and partially new material.
What movie?
Maximum
Maximum
Overdrive.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Emilio Estevez is in that.
Oh, God.
Stephen King directed it. It's based on
yeah.
the short story Trucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
My number 7, David Bowie and Trevor Horn with the Labyrinth soundtrack.
Naturally.
Oh, yeah.
Ow, shit.
Oh, shit.
Ow, yeah.
My number 6, I Will Apologize for Nothing, the self-titled debut album by the Vinnie Vincent Invasion. Oh, yes.
If I could fall down, I would.
Gonna rock, never gonna stop. Oh my god.
Oh, my God.
Oh my god. I need
Vinnie Vincent Invasion.
Vinnie
wow.
Vincent Invasion.
You know what?
I just love
I did
it.
not see that coming.
I just love it. I love it. It
I
is
sorta
so
did.
gloriously over the top. But here's the thing. It's built on a foundation of genuinely catchy rock songs. His solos are obviously excessive, like to the point where they're not even listenable.
And the vocals are like a fucking dying cat.
Well, no. The vocals are not like a dying cat.
It's something worse
It's
than
a
that.
taste. It's a taste thing. I think the vocals sound cool,
Dying cat.
but it's
a bad taste thing.
It's basically it's absolutely over the top to a cartoonish degree, but it's all built on an absolutely rock solid foundation of genuinely catchy hard rock songs, and it just works for me. It genuinely does.
All right.
My number 5, Bonnie Tyler, Secret Dreams and Forbidden Fire.
Wow, even over Vinnie Vincent.
Oh, it's so great though.
The beginning of the end,
It's
people.
so great. My number 4, Control.
Yes. Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis.
So great. Okay, my number 3, Dead or Alive with Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know.
Oh, I forgot they did that movie.
Great.
I forgot
so
about that
great.
one, too. Yeah, I just
Love it. My number 2, Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Of course.
Of course.
No, I'm not kidding you.
That album is perfection.
No, I'm not.
I'm
kidding.
not
That album
kidding you.
is a work of art.
You didn't
oh
see
my
that coming?
god.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say I didn't see it coming.
Oh.
But it's still painful when it comes. Just the same.
Dick.
Yeah.
But my number 1 for 1986. See, this I do my list. I'm over and done in like 5 minutes. I give my list. They give me shit, and we're on to a commercial break. Paul rambles about some REM album no one's ever heard of. In 18
No
minutes,
one's
it's gone.
ever
Nobody's
heard of.
ever heard of these REM
Really?
albums.
No one's ever heard
Somebody
of
who
that?
put a Vinnie Vincent album
Are you
on his
out of your
fucking list
mind?
hasn't
No
heard
one
of it.
care. Anyway, my number 1, True Blue by Madonna. Boom.
All right.
That one's deep.
It is a thankless task here for me, having to bring you the truth of these years of
worry.
the 80s.
Somebody's going to come into the comments and say, oh, Tommy's list was the best. Somebody will.
They always do.
Yes.
Somebody always has your back.
Yes, because
Yeah.
people know that Tommy is the best and knows everything about everything.
I am interested, though. I will say, I am interested to see how that's going to go as we get deeper into the 80s.
Tommy
though.
is the best.
It doesn't matter what happens. This is what's going to happen.
Okay.
So it can get so much worse.
Oh, it's going to.
Oh, it will.
It's going to.
Oh, you just wait.
I don't doubt.
You just wait.
No doubt.
Much, much worse.
Yeah, I'm just okay. Yeah, well,
No
the two
diggity.
of you,
No doubt.
as you just especially this one right here. This one right here, just spends the entire episode. Let's just fuck with Tommy. Watch what happens. Tommy will get his revenge. Oh yes, he will get his revenge.
Oh,
but anyway,
no. What are you... Wait. Don't tell me. What are you going to do? Hate an album I like?
motherfucker? Let's go.
Oh,
to the
no,
commercial.
please say it's
Let's
not
go.
true.
Say
Say it's not true.
Let's go. Let's go to a commercial now.
Nah.
Are you sleepy? No. What do you think it's gonna be like? Mom says there's even more magical stuff now.
Okay, guys, back to bed.
We're too excited to sleep.
Imagine how excited your kids will be when their favorite Disney stories come to life on a magical Walt Disney World vacation. You sleep?
No, too excited.
I heard that.
The hottest moves, top athletes, thrilling competition. It's the Crystal Light National Aerobic Championship with hosts Ed Marinero and Kathy Lee Crosby. Welcome to the world of competitive aerobics. Athletes from across America will make your TV sizzle as they go for gold. One finalist will be crowned champion. Find out who. You'll break out into a sweat just watching the Crystal Light National Aerobic Championship.
Tonight at 9 on Fox Television, Channel 5.
Okay, we are back.
We're back.
Yeah, we are back. And, well, I guess it's time to hate, isn't it?
Yes.
All right.
It's time to hate.
Yeah.
It's a time for hate.
This is 1986, and these are the things that I hate.
Great.
It's 3 things. I'll start off with the Blow Monkeys.
The name, the band name
Just
alone.
the name.
It's such an unfortunate
It's such
band.
a horrible, horrible name.
I feel like there was no chance I would ever like that band just
Why-
because of the name alone.
Why would you guys do that to yourselves? That means saxophone players? No, it's terrible. Then I have Rat in the Kitchen by UB40.
There's a rat in my kitchen, what am I gonna do? There's a rat in my kitchen, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fix that rat.
UB40.
Yeah,
No, huh?
No.
that's a no. I will say I liked that record at the time. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
I don't know.
Yeah, not good. And that was another one that I had listened to at work all the time, even at Tower. But the number one thing that I hate the most about 1986 music is Pet Shop Boys. The album is called Please. The Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah, I just can't with the Pet Shop Boys.
2 elitist twats.
You're not into it
I
either?
I can't with
Can't
them.
stand
Yeah, generally,
them.
I'm not into them, but I like West End Girls.
That's the one I hate the most.
I can't stand West
I
End
can't
Girls.
stand
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah, it's probably because that one's been played the most. At least my perception is that it has, and it's like
It is.
it's like I'm rebelling
I
against
feel like they
it.
have a bigger hit, but I can't think of
It's
it. So.
crazily overplayed,
Yeah,
yes,
I
but that's
just-
not why I hate it. The first time I heard it, I didn't like it.
I don't like
And then
them.
because it was stomped into the ground, that made me hate it even more. So that's what I hate about 1986.
Oh, so your worst of the year is Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pet Shop Boys sounds like if Erasure went terribly wrong.
Or Bronski Beat went even wronger.
Wronger.
Wronger. More wrong.
All right, you talk about wronger.
Wronger.
I'm going to talk about my hate list here.
Give it to us, Paul.
Tell us about it.
All right. Okay, my worst of the year list is a little longer this time.
Oh, dear.
And some of it is quite expected. Like fucking Judas Priest Turbo. Come on. Judas Priest Turbo. Now, I went and I listened to it recently.
It's coming.
And there were a couple songs on it that weren't that bad. But I mean, I really fucking hate Turbo Lover. Parental Guidance is
We don't need no
terrible.
No parental guidance. Fuck you.
That's hanging down somewhere with Fly on the Wall. I mean,
Parental Guidance.
you remember that song?
Yeah, and it seems... I feel as though it's below Judas Priest level.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that a song that some new heavy metal bunch of punk asses should be singing? Parental Guidance?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I know why that song exists, and I can't blame them. It's because of the whole PMRC thing happened.
Oh, I get it, but it
so
still sounds...
it was called for, but
Yeah,
you know they could
not
have
really.
they could have found some less cheesy way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like with a good song or
Like
something.
Fuck
you know.
Tipper Gore. That would have been good.
Well, all right. Well, look at it this way. I mean, let's count our blessings. At least Twin Turbos didn't come out, so that would have been really bad. Actually, in a way, it did because Ram It Down.
Ram It Down is so bad, though. That is so bad. Ram It Down.
Yes, both those albums are really, really bad.
Oh, you dick.
Yeah. Anyway, so Ozzy Osbourne with The Ultimate Sin. Come on. That is a bad Ozzy album.
That's not a good album. I keep trying with that one. It's not eluding me to the degree that Presence does every time I try. But Ultimate Sin's just there's not a lot there to sink my teeth into.
Well, the thing about the difference between those two albums is that Presence isn't bad. It's just kind of hardly there.
Yeah.
Ultimate Sin is bad. I mean, and the lyrics are especially bad on that. I remember listening to it. My friend Brent was playing it because he really loved Ozzy, and just, you know, the fire and it's out of control, and just like these, just completely, just like
cliches.
Really, people, come on.
Were they
Is
at
this what you
night
got?
too? The fire out of control at night.
Yeah, at night. Yeah, it was literally
Under the
that shit.
moon?
It's like, come on, we anything else? Just give money, get Bob Daisley and fucking give him some money and get some real songs in here.
Stop
Will you?
fucking over Bob Daisley. That's the lesson from Ultimate Sin. Please stop screwing over Bob Daisley.
Yeah, that's what you get when you fuck over Bob Daisley. The Ultimate Sin. Not advisable. Okay. All right, so next up, Elton John with Leather Jackets.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not familiar with this.
You don't want to be either.
Well, hold on.
I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna make any promises.
Oh, right, yeah.
Let's be real here. Would I like it?
I would like to think that you
would, yeah.
But I
you
can't make
probably
any
will.
promises.
Yeah.
I can't make any promises.
You'll probably like it.
Let me put it this way: Elton John himself thinks it's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, Elton John and I are going like this about this
Still
record.
doesn't mean enough yet. That still doesn't.
Whatever. Go take a listen to it. You might just like it.
Give it a listen.
Give it a listen. All right, let's get into the real shit here now. Genesis Invisible Touch.
Wrong.
It just sounds like a fucking Phil Collins solo album written to serve as a soundtrack for Miami Vice.
You're correct.
Like, you can hardly tell that fucking
Wrong.
Mike Rutherford and Tony
Had
Banks are even
anything
there.
to do with it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are they playing?
And there's that one little
Wrong.
sort of pseudo prog thing on side 2 that,
yeah.
that Tony Banks wrote.
Right. But the rest of it,
Both of these people are wrong.
I mean, that give me no. This is that is a no.
yeah. And that song is corny.
Yeah.
What,
Every song on that
Invisible
record
Touch?
is corny.
Invisible Touch is an amazing pop song.
Oh God.
The lyrics.
Tonight is okay. If I had to choose a song that I kind of like
would
on that
pick
record, that would be it.
Yeah.
But I mean, even that is just like.
What the fuck is he singing about?
He's singing about.
Who cares what he's singing
some sort of
about?
product or something. He's waiting for
Invisible
TV.
He could be reading off a cake recipe. If the melody is fucking fire and the arrangement works, I'm there for it.
Not the phone book,
and the
but
bad
a cake
tones
recipe.
and the
Ooh.
Anita Bakerisms.
Aye.
All right. Okay, so coming up next, Alice Cooper with Constrictor. Oh my God. So Alice went through the early '80s, that whole blackout period,
Yeah.
and I was gobbling up those albums as they came out because that was my honeymoon phase with Alice. And then after '83, he vanished. He stopped making records. Nothing in '84, nothing in '85, and it kind of seemed like he was kind of done for.
Quit.
Then it was like Alice Cooper is coming back. He's gonna have a new album, and I saw the images of him. Like, his hair was long again. He was wearing his makeup again. Like, because he wasn't doing that throughout the whole early '80s, and he looked like Alice Cooper again. Man, I bought that fucking album the day it came out. I was so excited.
And then
Teenage Frankenstein.
yeah.
He's back. The man behind the mask. Oh my God, that record is terrible. It is absolutely awful. Do you like this record?
Not really, no.
You don't?
No.
You don't like this record?
Nah.
I would think this would be your fucking favorite. This and Trash would be your two favorite Alice Cooper albums.
I like the production of his mid to late 80s albums a lot because they're very of the time.
Yes, they are.
Okay? The guitar work is fantastic.
Kane Roberts.
There are just a handful of songs amongst the entire batch that I think are actually genuinely good songs. To me, they are absolutely littered with fucking filler. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't actually have the ability to discern a good song from bad at that point.
He was definitely out of practice.
Yes.
He had only just kind of come back to life after his whole blackout period, and he was not on his game.
Yeah.
But he did the right sound. He'd been gone for a while, and he was on the right sound for people to kind of get on it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was novel that Alice Cooper was back.
But here's the thing, though. It takes more than just that sound for me to like the record. It still has to be
Yeah.
a good record. It has to be a good song.
Yeah.
I prefer 80s production, obviously, but if the song isn't good, it's not enough to get me to like it.
It's a bad cartoon of that sound.
Yes,
that album.
it's superficial, basically.
You
took the elements. It's a superficial take that you like. You took the obvious elements,
Yeah.
but there's no actual substance.
See, that's the problem. It's a superficial version of inherently superficial style and genre.
No, now you're being a dick about
Real,
it.
not
No.
being real.
No.
Speaking of, possibly my next two albums are possibly the very height of this, the epitome of this.
The epitome.
Peter Cetera with Solitude Solitaire. I mean, come on.
Fire. Oh, no.
What's this fucking Pottery Barn bullshit?
Oh!
Pottery Barn.
Pottery Barn.
Straight up. Music to Shop at the Pottery Barn by.
Oof. Or Pier 1.
Pier 1? Sure. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, but your mom really liked that album. Like, she was starting to get on this thing.
And she first heard it in the mall when she was at JCPenney
Oh my God.
buying clothes.
But see the thing about the whole, I really couldn't stand that whole era where Peter Cetera took over Chicago and started making records like this with these guys. But then he quits and he puts out this record, and okay, fine. he has the right to put out this kind of an album under his own name. It still sucks. But then what happens is that my next album on the list, Chicago 18, comes out, and they have some other rando on vocals, and they all complained about Peter Cetera taking over and doing this to the band.
Right.
They went even fucking further in that direction after he left.
Yeah. Who was that guy?
I don't know. They fucking, Robert Lamb probably doesn't remember his name at this point. Does anybody know what he looks like? He probably had the wedding singer hair, I'm going to guess. It's calculated, it's sterile, it's soulless. And again, the intros to these songs come on, it could be anybody. Absolutely anybody. There's anybody.
Yeah.
And even when the voice comes in, you don't know, because it's not even fucking Peter Cetera on vocals, so...
It's not distinct at all.
Yeah. But I tell you what, the fucking record sold, but, there you go. You have that's the mid-80s for you. But...
The worst.
Well, even worse than that, and you know what? You're not gonna... You have no dog in this next race, Tommy. In fact, I'm going to be shocked if anybody has any idea what I'm talking about, but I do recommend that you investigate. Rick Beretta with Touch It.
Oh.
That is my worst of the year. Rick Beretta with Touch It.
I remember this.
Do you know this?
Yeah, because I was working at Tower.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, I discovered this record. I found this record at a thrift store sometime in the early 90s, I think. Maybe late 80s, early 90s. Rick Beretta, Touch It. And it's like this almost kind of like indie, electro, hip-hop kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Touch it. Feel the sensation, know it. Feel the vibration, do it. That kind of shit. Yeah. But it has like this public access kind of vibe about it.
Yeah.
And the front cover is like the Sticky Fingers meets Too Fast for Love.
Yeah.
He has like the sort of hip hop leathers on.
Right.
It's a close up of his crotch, but it has women's hands on his legs.
Yeah.
And then the back cover is just, there's no text, it's just a shot of him. And that sort of, what's that, those kind of sleeveless things that they had that had zippers? They were almost kind of like a Michael Jackson thing.
Oh, the vest.
They were like a parachute pant kind of.
Parachute material,
Parachute material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's him wearing that, but with like blown back hair, like he's...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Touch it.
Touch it. Rick Beretta.
That was played in clubs.
Really? Yeah. See, I just found this at a thrift store and thought it was hilarious. My friend Sean and I, we used to laugh about Rick Beretta. It was just this like inside joke. I didn't think anybody knew who he was.
Yeah.
And then later on, I found him on Facebook and followed him. I didn't friend him, but I followed him, so I would see him, and he was still making music.
Really?
And he was in like middle of California, whatever, and he had a studio, and he was one of those guys that would bring bands in and record them and stuff. And he actually seemed like he was just like a nice guy. And then I went back when I was putting together this list, wanting to kind of do a little research and kind of get something maybe I could talk about to him about. He died recently.
Oh no!
Yeah. Unfortunately, so R.I.P. to the great Rick Beretta.
Rick Beretta.
But I have to say though, I mean that record, as cheesy and bad as I always thought it was, I found that it actually has its fans because it's one of those records that's kind of underground.
Yeah.
But I guess in the end, really, what it's down to is this is not for me. Mm-hmm. But it is truly cheesy because, as I said, it has that public access vibe about it.
Like they recorded it in a public access studio.
Yeah, almost like the Mr. T's.
Yes.
Mr. T's Commandments, but they put like somebody you actually. Actually can rap over it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. T's Commandments.
I don't know. Yeah. So Rick Beretta, Touch It. Do look that up.
Listen to it.
Listen to it. Feel the vibrations.
Yeah, that's right.
Tommy's still having trouble because I was talking shit about the imposters with the Sins who called themselves Chicago.
To get over. He's mad.
And I'm not making it any better. So, Tommy.
What do you hate?
What do you hate other than my list?
Paul. Paul's my dishonorable mention and my worst of the year.
I'm the worst of the year. Worst of the year, Paul Bertolino.
Paul Bertolino.
Oh, my dishonorable. Anything. Any list by Paul Bertolino. No, I've got Evol by Sonic Youth, of course.
Anything by Sonic Youth.
And I've got, unfortunately, Russian Roulette by Accept. Ooh,
they didn't
way,
they
they
didn't.
fell hard.
I didn't hear that.
After Metal Heart, they fell really hard, and it's really, really disappointing. It's a
I was
major
so
letdown.
off that bus by then.
Yeah, it's a major, major letdown.
What was their good song?
Well, they had
Or good
Balls to the
record.
Wall's a great album, Restless and Wild, some of the earlier
and
stuff.
I love
but-
Metal Heart. I think it's a fantastic album too, the one from '85. But after that, I mean, it's a catastrophic fall. Like,
Well, then not long after that, Udo Dirkschneider quits the band, and then they go through a
Well-
succession of other.
it's also debatable whether or not he quit. I think
Boy,
they kind of forced him out.
Why would you force Udo out of the band?
From what I understand, and this is kind of like it's he said, she said, depending on when Wolf was interviewed and when Udo was interviewed, they said slightly different versions of the story.
Right.
But it would appear as though after Russian Roulette did not do well, either Wolf Hoffman or their management team or somebody felt they needed to replace Udo with somebody who might give them a lead vocalist that would give them the chance of having a big hit record.
A broader appeal.
Right. They felt Udo was kind of hurting their chance at like major commercial crossover.
Well, he had a
success.
Bon Scottish kind of voice, and
Yeah.
AC/DC kind of always struggled with that. There were
Yes.
little whisperings in the back rooms of like maybe they were gonna replace Bon because his voice was a little too weird for
It's a
mainstream
little
audiences.
grating. It's a little grating, but once you get used to it,
Oh
and
no,
you-
it's not grating, but it is
you end
weird.
Up, you end up loving it. Well, no, it is. It can be grating and off-putting if you come to it
Nasal and
fresh. Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah, like
But the thing is that we've grown up. That's the way we've always heard those songs, and it's just like there couldn't be any other vocalist on those songs.
that, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, Bon.
You know.
It's hard for me to imagine it though because Bon Scott is arguably my favorite rock and roll singer.
I mean, I could see that, but he's got a weird voice.
He has a weird ass voice.
Yes.
He does. He absolutely has a weird ass
Udo
voice.
also has a weird voice, but for those awesome Accept albums, I gotta have Udo. But I think
Yeah.
that they forced him out, and it became like a real, like power struggles and shit. It's just you know how that story fucking goes. But
Yeah.
but my actual worst of the year is Poison with Look What the Cat Dragged In. So
Yeah.
they are just a genuinely bad band that has the luxury of having actually a very good guitar player who never really got the respect he's actually owed. CeCe DeVille is actually
He is
a
a
very
really
good
good
guitar
guitar player.
player, and he's got really cool tone.
I agree with that.
His phrasing is cool. I mean, he's
Am I
just
on camera here?
No,
No,
CeCe is
seriously.
actually CeCe deserves way more respect than he ever got.
I saw them live a couple of times because I was in LA, and they were always at the Cat House or whatever the fuck. And the first time, my friends literally dragged me there because I was like, I don't want to see these motherfuckers. Give me a break.
Look what the cat dragged in.
Yeah, and then my one friend was like, CeCe DeVille, rock, blah blah blah, and I said, all right, whatever. And I was just like, oh shit, like he's the musician in this band.
Yes.
Everybody else sucks. This guy's the real deal.
He is the real deal.
And all of the super duper guitar heads on the Strip and the dudes I work with at Tower, they were all about CeCe DeVille. All about it.
CeCe can fucking play. He
Yeah,
can play then,
play.
he can play now. And Poison also has the luxury of having a couple of songs that I do genuinely like.
And they are?
Fallen Angel, Cry Tough. And honestly, even Talk Dirty to Me is actually a very catchy song.
It's goofy. I like talking.
Yeah, but that's a song CeCe brought with him from his previous band.
Right.
The other three guys had nothing to do with the writing of that song.
yeah.
But
Ricky.
other than those few things, like I can't get past Bret Michaels. I just can't.
Yeah, he's
I just
trying
Yay,
desperately to be Vince
Pennsylvania.
Neil. Trying
yeah.
desperately to be
and
Vince Neil.
not coming remotely
Oh, yeah.
close to succeeding. There's
And-
Poison sounds so contrived
Yeah.
and phony.
Yeah.
I just can't get past it.
I remember when that record came out, being in the store. I think it was the day I bought the Smithereens album. Right next to it was that fucking album,
Mm-hmm.
and there was the hype sticker on it that had this manifesto about how. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
Remember
know
the
what you're talking
manifesto that
about,
was on this
yeah.
when it first came out? This is not poser
Poser
rock.
rock.
This is
This is-
real
yeah,
rock and
yeah.
roll, and all, like this whole thing about how they're not posers. And I'm looking at the cover, going,
They're totally posers.
"Huh? What
When
the fuck
I
are you
was
talking about?
in-
These fucking guys
Like
aren't
their hair
posers.
is done just so, the makeup, the whole nine. It was
These
like,
fucking guys aren't
hello,
posers.
this is called capitalizing on a trend. Give
Yeah.
me a break.
I'll tell you what, when I was in 6th grade in 1989, some kid in my class had, I guess, gotten his older sister's cassettes. So he would bring them in. I think he had Dokken, he had Rat, and he had Look What the Cat Dragged In, and I saw that. and I thought they were 4 of the hottest women I've ever seen. I'm not saying people are like, oh, you know, I would have fucked those girls on the cover of the Poison cover. People
You
always make that
literally
joke.
thought they were women.
I was in 6th grade, you know, puberty's starting to set in, and I'm looking at the cover of Look What the Cat Dragged, and I was like, yo, these chicks
are hot.
I've heard straight
Now,
up.
wait a minute. Was that at a glance, or you were like,
I mean,
wow.
at a glance, you know, I mean, I didn't like, I wasn't like studying it, but
Well,
like,
you were probably looking at the cassette too, right?
I was looking at the cassette and I saw it, and they're
yeah.
so heavily made up, and the hair is teased out, and I'm 11, and I'm like, oh, they're hot girls. You know, I mean, I genuinely, that was legit my reaction.
Oh, that's
But
good.
yeah, but they're not a good band,
Not good.
and you know, the fact that I actually respect CC as a guitarist and I dig his tone sometimes, and the fact that they have a couple of songs I genuinely like, does not help me like this band. I just think they're a terrible band.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So is that your worst of the year?
That's my worst of the year. Yeah.
All right. I think that's that for
That's
this.
good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
did Crystal go?
I went
She
first.
began.
You went first?
She started.
So I was last?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then you, all right. Yeah. I'm losing.
As usual, we lose our way.
Yeah.
We lose our way. Okay. All right. Let's get ready
Yeah.
because I think there's probably some pretty
Yeah.
Good commercials.
awesome commercials coming up. Here we go.
I wanted to save you, and I can't. And you had to do it yourself.
Once just staying off drugs for a few days and starting to see how it was and actually working towards that, things are not perfect and it's not always easy, but it's
Sure
nothing
better
like
than it was.
That's for sure.
Just another manic Monday.
All right. All right. So there we go. That's the end of
I'm tired.
1986.
You have exhausted me.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Berlino.
Okay.
You've made me tired.
Yeah. Well, you know, the 80s were very tiring, I have to say.
They were exhausting.
I think I'm a little tired of them.
But they were fun.
Yeah.
I loved it.
You know what we should do first, though?
Picture.
Vintage photo time!
Yes.
All right, so here we have Crystal in Philly. She was living in LA at the time, but she was back in Philly for whatever reason, you know, visiting. And here she is hanging out with her homegirl, Athena. Yeah, Crystal and Athena were the only black women in the punk rock scene in Philly in the 80s. And, well, you can see here she has black and red knit spider leggings by Betsy Johnson, and you can't really see it in this fuzzy photo, but she has a Free South Africa button and a bondage cup. Punk as fuck, huh? And this is me in 1986. Yes, all 4 of these are me in 1986. Normally, you know, we only put 1 photo per person on here, but this is a special situation. As you can see, 1986 was a journey for me, and you can actually see me transitioning from my metal period to my R.E.M. and Prince period. So top left we have Doug Henning, and then we have, thankfully, the short-lived mullet period. That was really only a couple months, because what I really wanted to do was go on to my next phase, which is down there bottom left, the Prince Parade Kiss haircut phase. Yeah, I had that for a little while, and then ultimately, evidently, I settled on Ned Flanders. I guess I don't know. I don't know what was going through my head. I was 16. I mean, the 80s happened to me too, so. And here we have the ultimate. This is an actual Tommy Von Voigt in the actual 80s. Yeah, Tommy in 1986, he's in 3rd grade, dressed in the part, looking the part, and looking proud. And he's got lasers. People, he has fucking lasers. So this isn't some retro 80s bullshit. I mean, this is true, genuine, proper 80s going on here. So just fucking stand back. All right, so there you go. That is Crystal and me and Tommy in 1986. All right, so there you go. There's our photos, and yeah, boy. Damn,
Crazy.
we were fucking badass in 1986.
Oh, crushing it.
Almost as badass as the year. Almost.
Kidding me?
Almost.
All right, so everybody, thank you. Thank you for coming on this journey with us, and thank you for subscribing. And thank you to those who are about to subscribe, and that's going to be you.
For those
about to subscribe.
We salute you! Yes, we do!
Ring
All
this
right,
bell.
but
Yeah.
ring the bell if you do, because if you don't get notifications, there's no point.
You gotta know, every Thursday at 11 a.m.
Yeah,
Come
at
on.
11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
EST.
Our time in New York, 11 a.m. So whatever your time is that's the equivalent. That's when it drops. And speaking of which, next week at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what's going to drop? Our favorite albums of 1987.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
87.
Yeah. We'll see how this goes, guys. All right.
Yes, we
see you
will.
guys next week.
Bye.
Got video going.
Videodrome.
Video. Audio.
Video.
We rolling.
Roland.
Orzabal.
Yeah.
What year is it? 1986?
86, yeah.
86.
86.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Well, all right.